A very good morning, dears, and welcome to yet another session on environmental science and disaster management. As you know, we have been discussing the module disaster preparedness and rehabilitation for the last couple of classes, and we have so far covered many important topics in this particular module. And in today's session, we'll be focusing on yet another important uh, thing that we should focus in a relief camp, and that is regarding waste management. Waste management in a relief camp is likely to create problems for the camp officials because proper assessment should be made about the type of waste and the volume of waste that is produced every day. And responsibility should be assigned to the municipality or to the panchayat officials so that they will take care of the waste. And volunteers from inmates should also be assigned various tasks to clean or clear the waste. And special care should be given to review whether the current waste disposal the relief camp is having is adequate is adequate to dispose the waste that is being produced every day. And also special attention should be given if any hazardous wastes are produced in the relief camp, because hazardous waste in the relief camp will be medical waste, and special uh, uh, bins should be kept for these kinds of waste. Special bins for plastic waste, special ones for hazardous waste. So proper disposal of these waste should be done in the relief camp, and waste bin should be placed in possible areas to deposit waste. And again, biodegradable waste should be can be disposed by digging huge pits, and these pits should be away from the camp, and care should be given to prevent children from going near the pit. Otherwise, that will end up in another disaster. So, every day a review should be done on how waste is disposed or what are the waste management system that are available in the relief camp. So, this is a very important area, waste management in the relief camp. Hope it is clear. And one particular aspect of waste management is that in this again, responsibility should be assigned to the officials of the municipality or the panchayat. And the inmates and the volunteers, they just need to assist these people. Directions will be given by them. They just need to assist these officials, these government officials. Okay, so that is regarding waste management, and make sure separate bins are kept for biodegradable waste, for plastic waste, and for hazardous waste. And these hazardous or toxic waste should be collected and stored in the camp and should be disposed only in the proper manner. And that is about waste management in the relief camp. And I hope that is clear. Now, next is regarding camp activities and inmates. Already, while discussing general discipline, it was mentioned that too much of rules and regulations should not be implemented in the camp. Otherwise, these inmates they will feel as if it is a prison. So, in order to engage these inmates, in order to make them come out of the trauma that they are undergoing, such activities should be there in a camp to engage these people. So these people affected by disasters are badly traumatized as a fact. That should be there in the mind of all the officials and the volunteers who are dealing with the camp. So giving them a task to perform can help them overcome the trauma. So the people associated with the camp should ensure that each and every camp member assists in the general administration of the camp. They should also have a part in the administration of the camp. For example, the old people or aged people, they can assist in cutting vegetables or they can engage in light works. Then professionally trained peoples will be there in the camp. They can be used as technical assistants. Maybe people like technicians, teachers. So all these professionally trained people can be used for various purposes in a camp. There will be yoga trainers among the inmates or physical fitness trainers. So they can be used to ensure the physical fitness of the camp inmates. And again, if graduates or students are there, they can be assigned with the task of teaching children in the camp. There is also a scope for adult education. So, in this way, the inmates should be engaged because in a relief camp, the main task is to keep the inmates engaged and to give them hope. They should not think about the trauma that happened all the time. They should be engaged physically and mentally. That will help them to overcome the trauma. So, this is again another important thing, how to engage the inmates of a relief camp by creating activities or by finding people who will be able to teach, who will be able to train the inmates in one way or the other. All right. So that's regarding camp activities and inmates. Now we have come to the last part, that is closing the camp. What are the things that should be uh, given special attention while closing the camp? Closing the camp is as important as beginning the camp. And the decision about closing the camp should be taken by the district collector based on the reports given by various officers who are in charge of the affected area. So though it is the district collector who actually takes the final decision, it depends on the reports that are given by those officials, those people who are working in the camp. And before closing the camp, there are certain things that should be taken care of. First thing is ensure that the affected area from where these people have come to the relief camp, that particular area has been well equipped and it is inhabitable. അവർ എവിടെ നിന്നാണോ ക്യാമ്പിലേക്ക് എത്തിപ്പെട്ടത് അവരുടെ ആ സ്ഥലം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് തിരിച്ചു ചെല്ലുമ്പോൾ വാസയോഗ്യമാണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് വെൽ equipped with all basic facilities is something that the authorities should ensure. They have proper water, proper lighting system, food, proper shelter. So make sure that the affected area is inhabitable and well equipped. And people leaving the camp, as they leave, they should be given relief kits containing essential items. And again, if the inmates are people undergoing any medical treatment, they should be given a discharge report and a medical kit that contains the essential medicines that they need. And proper transportation should also be arranged for these inmates to go back to their place. And once the inmates have left, the assistant camp officer should also make sure that disinfection procedures are followed in the camp area. It could be any building. Mostly, it is these relief camps are educational institutions. So make sure, whether it be a school or a college, disinfection procedures are followed to clean the area, school or community hall, whatever it be. And these accounts officers, they should give a very detailed report about the income and expenditure. It is also important because this can at times lead to controversies if proper report of income and expenditure is not given. Then the medical officer, the doctor in charge of the camp, should give a report, and the excess medicines should be transferred to the district pharmacy. And the waste management team, they should also actively engage in disposing the waste that is accumulated in the camp. So these are some of the things that should be taken care of while closing the camp. First is regarding certain reports. Number one is the medical report and how these kits should be properly given, relief kit as well as medical kits if the inmates have any um, are undergoing any medical treatments, and proper transportation facility and disinfection procedures to be done in the place, and finally waste should be properly disposed. That is regarding closing the camp. So I hope you remember the things that we have discussed in today's session. First, regarding waste management, then regarding how to engage these inmates in activities, and third, regarding closing the camp. And remember, the decision to close a camp is always taken by the district collector based on the reports given by the officials associated with the camp. Now, there are certain key concepts that are associated with disaster management. So we'll look into such key terms. Number one is the warning system. Warning system in the sense certain signs or symbols that should be used during disasters, that should make the people aware that this is the kind of disaster going to happen when they listen to one particular warning signal or warning sound, whether it be sound or signal. Okay, so that is the first concept, key warning system. Disaster warning signals should be fixed and awareness about it should be spread to the people in the locality, and warning signals should be fixed. It shouldn't lead to any sort of confusion. For example, if you're using a bell, if it is a long bell, then people, we know if there is a long bell, then it is an emergency and people have to directly reach the community shelter. If there is such a community shelter in the locality or at any place, they should actually come together if it is a long bell. Or if you're using a bell in this particular format, that there is a ring, then there is a gap, again ring, gap, ring. If that is the kind of signal of the bell that you're giving, again people should be made aware that there is a possible threat if you listen to this particular sound. So the warning system should be fixed and people should be made aware of the warning signal that you are giving. And mostly it is a sound that is given as a warning system by the authorities. Then next is regarding escape route and shelter. Uh, if you are living in an area where there is a possible threat, then the escape route and shelter should be fixed. Identify the possible threats and prepare self-escape routes to temporary shelters. School buildings or community halls should be identified in advance. മുൻകൂട്ടി തന്നെ ഒരു പോസിബിൾ ത്രെറ്റ് ഉള്ള ഒരു ഏരിയയിലാണ് നമ്മൾ താമസിക്കുന്നതെങ്കിൽ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇഫ് യു ഗോട്ട് എനി വാർണിംഗ് റിഗാർഡിംഗ് എ ഡിസാസ്റ്റർ, ഒരു സേഫ് എസ്കേപ്പ് റൂട്ട് പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യുക ടെമ്പററി ഷെൽട്ടറിൽ എത്താനായിട്ട്. Then next is regarding neighborhood directory. So it is always essential to create a neighborhood directory which contains list of numbers, phone numbers, email address about children, adults, and also people with special needs, disabilities, list of skilled, trained people like nurses, doctors, electricians. Such a list should be created, which is called a neighborhood directory. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു കാര്യം ചെയ്ത് വെക്കുക. Maybe on the basis of യുവർ വാർഡിൻ്റെ ബേസിലാണെങ്കിൽ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇത്ര ഒരു കിലോമീറ്റേഴ്സിനുള്ളിലുള്ള ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, ആ ബേസിൽ യു ഹാവ് ടു പ്രിപ്പയർ എ നെയ്ബർഹുഡ് directory. And this is a thing that you can do. You can ask the ward member of your area whether you have such a neighborhood directory, or you can prepare such a one, as you can volunteer to do this. ഓക്കെ, നിങ്ങളുടെ നാട്ടിലില്ല എങ്കിൽ കുറച്ചൊരു യങ്സ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ഒക്കെ കൂടിയിട്ട് ദിസ് ഇസ് സംതിങ് ദാറ്റ് യു ക്യാൻ ആക്ച്വലി പ്രിപ്പയർ, ബിക്കോസ് എനി ടൈം these disasters, whether it be man-made or natural, it can come and grab us because of our actions itself. Since the climate is changing every day, നമുക്കൊന്നും എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഒരുപാട് ക്ലൈമറ്റ് ചേഞ്ച് ആണ് ഇപ്പം നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. Maybe you have read about such things in the newspapers, Now, the next is regarding um, school emergency plans. School emergency plans, in the sense, there should be a plan to evacuate children in case of an emergency. The children should be aware where to meet their parents or where to meet their elders in case of such an emergency. അപ്പോൾ സ്കൂൾ കുട്ടികളെ അവർക്കൊരു ഇവാക്വേഷൻ എമർജൻസി വരികയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇവാക്വേറ്റ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുമ്പോൾ എവിടെ എത്തണം എന്നുള്ളത് അവർക്ക് അവയർനെസ് കൊടുത്തിരിക്കണം. Okay, and the last is regarding family emergency plans. Um, Here, actually, the family members should be encouraged to develop their own family preparedness plans in case of an emergency. How to contact the family members, how to, you know, create a place where they can, arrange a place, how to think of a place where they can meet, then home evacuation procedures, safe storage of food and water, and assembling disaster supplies kits. So the family should, if they are living in an area which is prone to disasters, they should have a family emergency plan. എന്തൊക്കെ കോണ്ടാക്ട് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ, അതുപോലെ എവിടെ മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം, ഏതൊക്കെ പ്രൊസീജിയേഴ്സ് ആണ് ഹോം ഇവാക്യുവേഷനിൽ അവർ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, സേഫ് സ്റ്റോറേജ് ഓഫ് ദ തിങ്സ് ദേ ഹാവ് അറ്റ് ഹോം, സേഫ് സ്റ്റോറേജ് ഓഫ് ഫുഡ് ആൻഡ് വാട്ടർ, അതുപോലെ സപ്ലൈ കിറ്റ്സ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ ഫാമിലി മെമ്പേഴ്സ് ഷുഡ് ബി aware of these kinds of things. So that is all about family emergency plans and some of the key concepts that are associated with this. I hope it is clear. So that's all about the module disaster preparedness and rehabilitation. I hope all the concepts are clear to you. If you have any doubts regarding any of the concepts discussed, feel free to contact me. Yeah, that's all about it, dears. Thank you. Thank you so much. So stay safe.